Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's ClaritySoft training webinar. Today is Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. I'm Susan Arnold, Implementation Specialist here at ClaritySoft, and our topic for today is making the most of the opportunities module. In January, we did one on the leads module, and today we're following in basically into the next sequence of the sales process in ClaritySoft to work with the opportunities module. This really becomes the heart and soul of your CRM, where you're going to track all of your potential sales. And where do I want to go here? Sorry, I need to go back to the beginning. Let me start again. I missed my screen. There we go. Here's where I wanted to be at my agenda. So what we're going to do today is to do an overview, first of all, of the opportunities module. If you're already working with ClaritySoft, you probably already know what it does. And then talk about customizing it to fit your business and the needs that you have for the data that you want to collect and track while you're working the sales opportunity. Then the various methods for creating new opportunity records in the database. Obviously, you can convert from a lead, but if you're not using leads, okay, no problem. You can create a new opportunity manually. You can import them, whatever way works for you. And then we'll work with opportunities, basically working with the sales stages, making sure those are updated and current, and the close date for the sale, your potential guess or your guess as to the close date. And then a new functionality that we added a few months ago. I don't know if everyone has discovered this yet, but we now have a pipeline board view in opportunities where you can create pipeline boards and view a more graphic representation of your opportunities in the module. So if you haven't learned how to do that yet, you will be learning how to do that today. Excuse me. And then while you're working with an opportunity, you can track your activities. When did you call this person? You can send emails from the opportunities module, and all of that gets tracked under the open and close activities tabs in the module. Then as you get down to the detail of the sale, you can add products and services to your opportunity, either by typing them as custom items, or if you import a price book into ClaritySoft, then you can pick from your price book list. And then we will talk about taking an opportunity to convert it to a quote, because many of you, once you've created that opportunity and have some product line items, you want to send a quote template. So we'll at least walk to that point of converting to a quote. And then the next session that we'll do on this, we will concentrate on probably quotes and sales to finish our sales cycle set of training sessions. And then last of all, we'll talk about the different reports, the reports module, dashboards, and Excel reports. So we have a lot to cover during our time today. So let's go ahead. And this is where we're going to work today. We covered this in our leads record, our leads training webinar last month, or January, I guess it was. And today we're going to concentrate on opportunities. So that's where we are in our sales cycle. Now let me get to where I want to be. So here I am in ClaritySoft, and I'm in my opportunities module. And in the opportunities module, with the new interface that was released last fall, you may have noticed that the total for the opportunities that you're viewing is at the top of the screen now, as well as at the bottom. This makes it a lot easier for you to see what your total amount is as you work with your opportunities and you perform different filters on the opportunities. So as I said before, this is where you're going to track all of your potential sales. And what you're doing, if you're using the leads module, you are working a lead to a particular point, and then you're saying, okay, they are ready, they are qualified for me to move them forward to create and convert them so that we create an account record and we create a contact record, and then we create an opportunity record, all in the conversion. So these are these are leads that I had in January for the webinar then. And one of these, well, we'll just pick one of these and do the conversion over. So one thing I did want you to notice, if you haven't realized this yet, but as of yesterday, with a new release that we put out, the contact name in the leads module is now hyperlinked. So when you want to open a lead, you can click on the contact or you can click on the company. I always tell people to click on the file folder icon and then you never make a mistake. So, but all of these are now hyperlinked for you to be able to open the record. So I'm going to take my Blue Moose Winery here. They are ready to move forward. And so what you'd want to do in your lead is you'd want to open it and just make sure that you have filled in all of your information, okay? Because we have some fields here in the leads module that we also created in the accounts, I think contacts and opportunity module. I have an industry type and I have a territory. And so these are ones in a product interest, these three here. And these have been created across the modules. And so when I convert this lead, it will transfer not only the standard data, but it will transfer this information to the corresponding fields. So I would open my lead, make sure everything's all filled in as best as it should be, and then just simply save it. So I can save it, which will leave it open. Then at the top here, I can click on the More button, or not the More button, the button next to the More button, and convert the lead. Now what happens is ClaritySoft will go on to the account side, and it will look for possible matches. So it's seeing here Blue Ribbon Associates might just match with the Blue Moose Winery, but it doesn't. So we just come down here and click the select button at the bottom. Then it tells me I'm going to create an account for Blue Moose Winery. The site field is optional. If you know there's only one Blue Moose Winery, you didn't find another one in that little search thing, then you don't need to fill this in. The contact is Ronald Morris, and it's assigned to me because I'm the person who's been working the lead and I own it, but I could assign it to anybody else, okay? So if you have like an inside team that qualifies leads and then they convert it when it's ready to be converted, they can assign it to another sales team member on the outside team. And then the create opportunity, this is automatically checked and there is an option where you can turn that on to be done. I will show you where that is. And then you could do the convert. Now, if I click convert, it'll just convert the lead and leave me in the leads module. Or if I'm ready to get started, I can click on the convert plus open and say, well, I want to go to the account, I want to go to the contact, or I want to go directly to my opportunity. So notice it has jumped to the opportunity and has now opened the new opportunity for Blue Moose Winery. So very quick, simple, saves you clicks if you use that convert plus open, and I'm ready to go. So all of my data has come across. My industry is here, my territory is here, and my product interest should have come across, but I'm thinking maybe I didn't name something correctly. Okay, so I might have had different lists here, I don't remember. Anyway, so my other information is here. Now, your screen layout may be completely different than mine. As you know, in the user interface templates, you can lay your screen out any way that works for your team and you. So we have our new opportunity here, and then I can begin to work with this opportunity and set my sales stage. So sales stages, how do these get here? We have ones that are built in when you first open up ClaritySoft and log in, but you can change these. So this will be a discussion that you may have to have with your team to say, well, what are the sales stages we want? What is the process that you follow? Everybody's is different. And ClaritySoft lets you customize this list so that you can put in the sales stages that work for you. Okay. You do not have to keep ours, but your basic process that you want to follow is you have certain steps or stages you go through until one of three results. You win the sale, you lose the sale, or for some reason it stalls and hits no decision. All of these terms can be changed. So that's your next thing before you start putting in opportunities, is you want to think through that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save and close this. And I'm going to back up a little bit to go to settings. Those of you that are not admin users will not be able to do this. So you may have to talk to your admin person and they would be able to go into settings. So under settings, you would go to customization. Then you see all of your modules and you go to the opportunities module. Then your first choice or option here is to add custom fields. And you can see I have a whole lot of different custom fields here that are for various demonstrations that I've done. But you can see I have the industry type. Those are my choices. Okay. I have the territory, and I have the product interest, which must be different than what I had in my lead record, which I'll have to check. So I have those there. So a discussion would need to be had. What do we need in the opportunity record to help us track the information we want to track during the sales process? And again, this is going to depend upon your business. Everybody's going to be a little bit different as to what you need. Then over here on the left, you will see sales stages, okay? And this is your next thing. What are the stages that you want? Now, not only do you define the name of the stage, you set a % probability for it. And you can set any number here that you think when you're at this particular stage, what is your % probability for winning it? And this is most important. You have some options here. This stage should be included in the forecast, okay? All of your stages until you get to one lost or no decision should be included in forecast, unless you decide that a stage is so early that you don't want it in the forecast, okay? Then you wouldn't check anything. But you want to check these things to make sure that they are correct. I will say that, quote, out of the box, all of the ones that should be in forecast are not, so you need to check those if you're a fairly new user to Clarity. And then you save it. So you're going to go down through. You can either open one of these and change the name to something else. You know, I'll just say change name. Okay. And then save it, or you can create a new one too. Now notice here, see, this is incorrect. It's not checked. So I'm going to check the rest of these. Yep, these are not checked. That one is. And that one is. And then the one is in the one category. So this tells you that you could name this one anything that you want, like contract signed, whatever means won, won the sale in your business can be the name of the stage, but it's in the one category, and that's what's important. Okay. So you just want to double check all of these. I just worked with someone yesterday where they weren't getting the right filtering in their opportunities module, and it's because they didn't have these filters set in here, or these categories set. So once you've done that, you set up them. If you need to add a new one, you just click add and you put a name in, set the probability, set the category. So you can add as many as you want. I suggest keeping it pretty short and simple for your folks so they aren't going through 17 different sales stages and making themselves crazy. Okay. The other thing over here, this products. There's a product field in the opportunity record that's built into ClaritySoft, has been for many, many years, and it's always been confusing to folks because they think they should put a product list there. It's really a category field, and what we've put in by default is new business and add-on business. If that works for you, you can leave it. If you don't want that, then you can change these to maybe a product category list. It's a single select drop down, so you can't select more than one. It's not specific products, it's more a category type. Or you can decide not even to use the field and remove it from view in your user interface template. So you can see I had 4 things here, but I've disabled 2 of them. So I'm back to just these. But that's one that you want to make a decision on whether to use it, whether to change it, whatever. Now, something that's absolutely brand new as of yesterday, in the different money modules now, we have a team tab or a contact tab that was added. And what this allows you to do is it's going to allow you to add any contact from the database and assign them a role in the opportunity. So this is in opportunities, quotes, sales, and projects, where projects, it may be the most important one because someone may be working on a project and somebody's the project manager and somebody else is such and such. So what you need to do is come in here and define your roles. So I'm just going to say, and again, you would think of things, I'm just making stuff up here. So you would think of all of the possible roles that you would have and type a list, okay? Because when you add a person, then you will assign them to a role. Maybe I'll add engineer here. Okay. So we've got that. I'll come back to the pipeline boards later. Okay. So basically your custom fields, you want to decide upon your sales stages, decide upon, and then make sure they're in the categories you want, and this product field, how you want to use that. And then if you're going to use the contact tab, which you'll see in a minute, then you can add your roles there. Okay. So you get all this customization done. And then I'm just going to bring this up. When you add custom fields, after you've added custom fields, you always have to go to the user interface template, go to the opportunity one, and then put those in. And I'll assume that your admin user knows how to do that. Okay. Once that's all done, we must log out. And then when we return to our opportunity module, we will have the information in here. So which it pretty much was already there anyway. But we have the fields. And then right here, this contact roles tab, it will automatically put the person who is the main contact for the opportunity record. But now I can add another person. And the person does have to be a contact in the database. So I'm just going to randomly start typing some folks in here and pick them. And then I can say, well, what is this person according to those roles? And then you can add as many people as you need. The cool thing is you can edit the role, remove them, or you can, let's say you wanted to contact these two people, you can select the box and come over here to the action menu and email them. And then you can type an email and it will get sent off to those two selected contacts. So if you were trying to inform them about something about the opportunity, then you can do that from here now. So that was, like I said, just added yesterday with the release yesterday. So for some of you, that may be something you'll go back and say, oh boy, I can use this. So that's there. All right. So we have all of that. And we have our sales stages then as we work through our sales stages here. Okay. Now, going back to the list of opportunities. One of the important things to know about the opportunities module is viewing your opportunities. Up here, underneath the name of the module, we have a drop-down list. Now, your list won't have all of these because a lot of these are custom views I've saved. But this is where people get stuck sometimes, is they'll put in an opportunity and they save and close it, and then it's not in their list. And they think, oh my gosh, what did I do? What happened to it? I know I typed it. I know I saved it. Well, it probably has to do with this filter. So you always want to look here and see what you have. All opportunities, if you can't find one, then switch it to all opportunities and then it should show up, okay? This will show all opportunities no matter what stage they are, okay? No matter what their close date is, it doesn't matter. Everything that you've ever done in opportunities will be here. And you can see down at the bottom, I have 525 opportunities in here, okay? Now, if I go to all active opportunities, this is where it will change. I have 363. Well, what is an active opportunity? An active opportunity is an opportunity that is at a sales stage that's that forecast type that we were in there checking that forecast box. So it's not won, it's not lost, and it's not no decision. It's everything else that's in the forecast category. So that's what active means, okay? That's the only criteria it's looking at is what sales stage and whether that sales stage is in the forecast criteria. That's why it's very important to set those check boxes because then these filters work correctly. Now, active this month, I'm down to 29. Well, what does that mean? It means the stage is a forecast category stage, and the close date is the current month, which is March. Okay. So all of these March close dates are going to show up for active this month. As soon as we step into April, then it's going to show all the April close dates. So this is what you have to pay attention to are these filters up here, because you may have a filter set and you created an opportunity with a close date of April or May, and you save it and then it's not showing up because you're looking at the current month, okay? So probably the best filter to work with would be all active. Okay, then it's not paying attention to the close dates. You also have built in lost this month, which would mean anything that's lost during the current month. So if I choose that, I haven't lost anything, okay, at least not in March. And I have one this month. I don't have anything. I have one last month and I don't have anything. So pay attention to these filters. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can create your own filters. Here's year to date, one opportunity. So I have one that I had a close date of January. So it's looking for the stage of one and a close date starting with January 1st up through today. So these are very important to pay attention to. And I think when a lot of people first start using ClaritySoft in opportunities, they get confused, okay? So I wanted to make sure everybody understands that. So if I go back to my all active, well, actually, I'm going to go to my all opportunities for right now. So your stages are here. You pay attention to the stages and then these filters, okay? Also, you can select a user. So if you wanted to, if you're seeing all records in the database, then you can choose yourself as a user and then only the records that are yours will show up, okay? You won't see everybody's. So you can see out of all the opportunities in here, which was 500, 31 of them belong to me, okay? So you can see what users you want to see and select whatever people. Okay. So then you can see I'm seeing Jim and Katie, and between the two of them, they have 170 opportunities. So these are all the filters that you need to pay attention to when you come in. If you want to search for a specific person or company, the opportunities that you've worked with a person, then you can use your quick search. So your quick search lets you type in the name of a company. And again, part of the name is probably the best, and then you can just type part of it and either wait or just hit the enter key. I waited, so you can see there was a few seconds of hesitation. But now I can see that I have two opportunities with Rosa Warren, okay? And one had a close date of 2018, which I'm still working on from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And then this one is due to close in June, okay? So these are basically, a lot of these were created in 2018, and I updated some close dates today to make it look here. But I can see all my opportunities here. And then I can clear this. So it's a way to filter while you're in here to pull up a specific record that you want to work with, all right? And then you can use your advanced search. And this is where you can create those different filters that are in that drop-down list because you can save them. So you can pick, well, I want to find all of the opportunities that we have with a specific industry type, maybe. Okay. And then I can search for that. And that industry type should come over if you're using leads and fill in. So you can see here, I have the industry type showing. So again, the custom fields help you do these filters and searches, find things, and then you can keep working with it. All right. So for example, now, here's my Blue Moose Winery that I just brought over. I don't have any amount assigned to this at this point because I haven't determined that. So let's talk about that. So when you first create an opportunity, you have your basic information. And if you're converting it, then the data is coming in, so you don't have to fill in a lot of it. The opportunity name, when you convert it, will just auto number it, but you could take this out. Maybe you're doing a special project with them on, I don't know. Again, it depends on your business, whatever you're doing, but you can name the opportunity. So if I just call this, I'm upgrading their computer network, okay, or something like that. Then here's that product field. I'm going to say this is brand new business because they came from the leads module. I'm at the sales stage. Maybe I'm ready for discovery. Okay. All of this is filled in. This product interest, you could have a multi-select list of the specific products or categories they might be interested in. And then product level. Again, a lot of these are just kind of random things. This is a lookup field that if you're trying to connect an opportunity to a contractor or maybe an architect or somebody, then this is a lookup field that you could use to look up the company that's going to be the project company. Okay, so I don't know, we'll just pick this. So that's what that's for. And then this is a lookup field for a contact at that company. Okay, so if you looked up the person, I used Aeromass, so here's the person. So you can, again, I'm just trying to give you ideas of the kinds of fields that you can put in here for custom fields. And then the amount field, while you're talking to them, you can say, well, this is going to cost about $30,000. Okay. And then you can type it in. And while you're working with the opportunity, then you can continue to just type it in as your estimate until you get down to the nitty gritty of the actual products. Now here, the entered date is today because I just created this and it defaults to a close date of today. So what you want to do is click here and say, well, this is probably going to take me at least till the end of April. Okay, maybe not, depends. And we could back it up. Let's maybe do it in March just to keep it in March so we get those filters working. And so this is, you're going to continue to keep changing the close date and you're going to continue to update your sales stage. These two things keep your pipeline accurate, and you're going to update your amount as you're talking to the person so that your amount is going up as well. Okay. And while you're doing all that, you are tracking your activities. So you have open activities and closed activities. Now, this is another process that has changed in the last few months, which you can, if you've been using ClaritySoft for a while, you may change your method. Previously, if you wanted to add an activity, you would come up here and this would allow you to open a new activity to add it, okay, which is fine. Or you can log an activity that's already done, like if you made a phone call, that works. So we can very quickly do this and just say call and notes, save, okay? So logging an activity, I can email from here, okay? Now, a new method, if you like to work from your calendar, this gives you incentive to work from your ClaritySoft calendar, because right over here, you have this little button now for My Calendar, which will open your ClaritySoft calendar. And then you can say, well, I want to schedule a meeting or a call or whatever. And I'll just say, products, and then the person's name is already in there, okay? It has the date, it has the time, and it's already show on calendar. So all of that is filled in for you because you clicked on the calendar. And then it's assigned to you. And if you wanted to put some kind of note in right now when you're scheduling it, you could. So all I have to do is save this. That is now on my calendar, okay? And it's also under the open activities. So it's kind of nice, I think, to be able to do that because you aren't going multiple places. You just pop over here. The other thing is you can, if you go into another opportunity, so if I did a save and close here and I went to another opportunity that I wanted to work with, we'll just say this one. I can just click on it to highlight it. See how it's just a little bit darker gray? And then I can pop open the calendar. I can already see this one that I've got scheduled and say, oh, well, I could do this at this time. And then I can put in the information. Now notice because I didn't open the opportunity, the contact person isn't in there, just so you know that. So you might say, well, wait a minute, hold on. If I open this and then pop the calendar, notice the contact person is in there. So you may want to just kind of pay attention to that because then you don't miss getting the right person. So I'll just say, I'll keep this one a meeting, whatever. Again, it's here. If I want to make it an hour, I can do that. And then I can save it. Now, one of the other things that you can do with this is 11 to 12. Well, maybe once she wants to make it at 10, no worries. You just come here and shove it up. It'll move it to 10. And if you open it, it's changed the time in here. Okay. So some new stuff there that's really nice. Then you could have this calendar synchronized to your Outlook. So this kind of saves you from having to go to Outlook first. You go to ClaritySoft first, which is better, and then sync it to your Outlook. But it's right here. It's in all the modules. So when you open a record, you can set your activities right here from the calendar. Okay. Or you can do it the other way from up here or here and click the plus sign, whatever way you like to do it. Makes no difference to ClaritySoft. All right, so we are tracking activities, so that's what we want to do. And we are putting in our information. So let me go back out here to Blue Moose and reopen. Now, products and services. We've typed in an amount here of 30,000, but now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Specific products and services. And we have the tab here, and then your plus sign should be over here. I've got so many tabs showing up that I have to click the more and get to the plus sign. So I've got different crazy things in here. So we're going to go, this would be where your price book shows up. So you would have categories of products. When you click on a category, the items show up over here. And you may import your list of products, which you may or may not have done. Oh, Jeff is asking me, can you send a meeting link from ClaritySoft to the client? Not yet. We're working on it, okay? It's coming in the future. All right, so products, I'm going to just whip down through here. You can select as many as you want, and then you can go to another folder and select as many as you like, okay? Also, you do have the ability to put in different price levels. You can create price levels in the products and services manager, and then you can import price levels and switch to different price levels, okay? When I click apply, I get all my products in here that I selected. They will have a quantity of 1. And then I can go down through here and change to whatever quantity I need them to be. Okay. And then it will calculate. These probably don't match at all, but we're not worrying about that. Okay. So once I've put these in, then when I return, notice my amount field is grayed out and I no longer can type in there because my totals are coming from here. So I'm not very close to my 30,000, am I? Also on the description, just so you know this description box is really huge. And you can put in a huge description in the product manager. I've got some people that have like 50 lines of description for a product. So that will show up and it will go into your quote template, okay? So you can have a very large description if you need. All right, so I've got my products, and as long as the products and services are under the tab, then this is what's controlling your amount field. So that's there. So you add that, you've got your opportunity, you're working your activities. As you're going through your sales stages, this tab here is tracking your time. So I was in the prospecting, or I was in the discovery stage, or prospecting stage for 22 minutes. And I've been in the discovery stage for 8 minutes. Okay, so, and I've been working with this for a total of 30 minutes. And if I go back to details and I change myself to the presentation stage and save it, then I will have been in the discovery stage for 9 minutes and I'm now in the presentation stage. So this is constantly timing you when you switch from stage to stage, which allows you to see, well, how long is it taking me to get through this opportunity, and maybe figure out on your sales stages where you get stuck. You know, where is the sticking point, and how can you maybe make it better for yourselves. Okay, so that's the sales stage history is there. And you just basically keep working through and monitoring your opportunities. So you can go back and, you know, look up the one you want to look up and just keep them moving along. Now, let me jump to the board view because this is pretty cool. I have got these, I'm going to clear this. So I'm back to all opportunities. And what I want to do is I want to show all my active opportunities right now. And I've already created one board so you can see what it is. And then I'm going to show you how to create your own. But this over here on the right, you have this button that says board view. And when you click on it, you will get a drop down list of your board views that you've defined. So I have one called pipeline view. And what this does now is it puts my sales stages that I've defined in the view up here. Okay. And then underneath, it lists all my opportunities that are at that stage. Shows me the value of each one. And at the top, it shows me the total value of that stage. And at the very top shows me the total value of all of these opportunities that are my active opportunities. Okay. So that gives you a more graphic representation of things. And if you've got multiple ones here, you just drag down and you can see the whole list of all of them. And the other cool thing you can do is you can say, well, this, let's say this Odessa is ready to move from discovery to prospecting, or maybe it's ready to jump all the way over to the presentation. So I can grab this, drag it, and drop it. And what ClaritySoft does is it will update the record in the record. So when you move it, when you drag it and then you open it, it will have changed it from the discovery to the presentation stage. You don't have to do it, okay? So it's kind of nice to be able to quickly look at what you have and move something from one location to the next. So if I take Admiral Financials and I push it over here, it now is updated. And then you can edit the record by clicking here, which will open the record, and you will see that it's in the new stage, and your sales stage history has it in the stage, okay? So everything is done by dragging in the board view. So the question is, and then of course, back here, we have all active, all right? Now, if I switched to active this month, then my numbers change. So this filter works with the board view, okay? So you have to pay attention to that. You pick your board and then you pick your filter. So for example, I've got another one that's all stages. So it's not only showing me my kind of sales stages, it's showing me my one loss to no decision, which I don't have because I'm looking at active opportunities. Now, if I look at all opportunities, then I should see, hopefully, yeah, some won and some lost. So the pipeline boards, what you say to show in them, work with the filters up here. So how do we create a pipeline board? You go to settings, you go to customization, you go to opportunities, and you go to pipeline boards. And then you will say new pipeline because yours will be blank. And then you give it a board name. So you could just say, oh, forecast. So forecast opportunities. And these include my prospecting, my discovery, my presentation, and my quotation and negotiation. Those are all of my forecast opportunity stages. Okay. So once you drag them into position, you just scroll down and click save, and it then adds it to your list. Okay. And if you need to edit it, you can click on the pencil to edit it. All right. It'll let you drag more in or remove something. If you want to delete it, then you can delete it. And then what you have to do next, just like with custom fields, you need to add the board to the user interface template. And what the dev team did, which is quite nice, is they've given you a shortcut to jump there. So you click on this, it takes you to the user interface template for opportunities, and also for the all access profile. So right here is the all access profile. You're right in your opportunity UI template. And for those of you that have worked in here, here's your screen layout. Here's your field configuration. So all of your tabs are here, but it jumps you directly to the pipeline boards tab. And then you can see here's the one I just created, and I can drag it over and drop it. And then whatever order I put it in here is where it will show up, I think. And then I can save it. Now, the other thing, just like with your custom fields on the screen layout, if you are using other access profiles, then you would need to click on the copy to and say, well, I want to copy this to all of these other access profiles. Then they would be able to see the same pipeline boards. And again, you must log out. Oops. And then you will have a pipeline board. Yeah, most of the people that have discovered these have been quite excited about them. So you can switch to board view, and then you can pick forecast opportunities. And then this is showing forecast is going to be active anyway. So they will be the active opportunities. And then if you wanted to filter it to the active for just that have a close date of this month, which is currently March, you would see those and where you are and what you've got coming. You also could show, what else do I have here? Oh, here's one, active ops close date this quarter. That would show you everything for the current quarter, which would be January, February, and March. Okay, so those should all be here. So if we go back, here's, yeah, January, February, March. So for the current quarter. Okay, so again, these filters work in conjunction with what you're viewing in the pipeline view. And then, like I said, if you move something, just get moved to here, it's updated, and this number changes, this number changes. Okay. So very exciting pipeline boards. We added activities. What else do we need? We added, okay. Whew. So looking at during the process, and then when you want to go back to list view, you just click list view. During the process here, you may need to convert your opportunity to a quote. And like I said, I'm just going to show you how to do that, but the next webinar will be on quotes. So just like in leads, you would want to take your opportunity, make sure that all your data is filled in. You've got your products and services, which we don't have any here. So let me go back to my Blue Moose Winery because I did put ones in there. So I'm ready to send them a quote. I can see I have all my products, make sure they're right, make sure all this other information is correct, save it. Then you can come up here and convert the opportunity. And then you say, well, where do you want to go? To a quote, to a sale? What do you want to do? So I would click on quote to take it over to a quote. It will create the quote record. And from there, I would send out my quote template. At that point, you're kind of working with both the quote and the opportunity because you've got your opportunity sales stage at quotation or proposal, whatever it is. And in the quote record, you're waiting for it. It's active and you're waiting for it to come back and be accepted. So that's where we'll stop on that and on that quoting. Now let's go to reports. In the reports module, bunches of reports already built in for you. So basically, if you here, this is grouped by the owner with a close date of this month. Okay, this is by the product, which would be new business, add-on business this month, close date. Lead sources, grouped by lead sources. Okay, so all of these have the current close date. This is by sales stage. And for these, they're already built. So all you need to do is click on it to run it. Shows you a sample. Download it to Excel or CSV or PDF. And then open the file, which is over here. And there you are. So it has it grouped by the sales stage. It tells you how many records there are. It lists the records and the detail that's pulled into the report. And then you get a subtotal per sales stage and a grand total at the bottom, which is at 346,000. Okay. Because this is the current month, March. So that's what we have scheduled in March. So those are quick and easy to run in your reports module. You can edit them and create your own opportunity reports. Let me jump to Excel reports real quickly so you can see those and dashboards. Let me do dashboards first because we're running short on time. But in dashboards, if you go to your dashboards, if you haven't done them yet, it's going to be perfectly blank here. So you're going to go to this vertical ellipsis button and click on it and go to settings. And then you get a list of all of the charts or dashboards that are available. And so quite a few are built in, but then you can add your own and save them, and then they get added to this list. And they're available here in the dashboards module where you can create and edit dashboards, and they're also then available in the home screen for you to view there. So I've got the 3 opportunity ones turned on here. And just as a quick, this one is showing opportunities grouped by the owner for this month, March. This is opportunities by stage and how many per stage there are. Okay, I don't think there's any time constraint on that one. And then this is opportunities grouped by the owner year to date. So how does one set that up? I'm going to edit it. So when you're creating a dashboard, the first thing you have to do is choose, well, what is the data series? So first of all is to choose the module. Second, the value properties, which would be your y-axis, is going to be a function, usually, not a value. And then you choose what function. Okay, so this one is the sum of the amount. Okay, and then we put it in the currency. I don't necessarily like these 2 decimal places, so I'm going to change it to integer, which still gives me commas, but I don't have the decimal places. It just looks a little cleaner. And then my argument is my x-axis, and I want it grouped by the owner. Okay, I could change it and group it by the stage. Okay, then it does the sales stages. So you choose what is basically the category that you want to display. And then you can click on this ignore empty. Then your chart type, you get to choose, well, what type of chart do I want? Bar chart here is probably good. You could maybe show it in a pie chart, but I think the bar chart is better. And then you give your chart a title, and you want to give it a title that indicates what it does. So it's your opportunities year to date grouped by the owner. Okay, well, now where do you find the year to date? You come over here to the time filter, and then you choose what date you want to go by. Do you want to go by the close date, or do you want to go by the created date? I'm not using created date because all of mine were imported in 2018, and I just updated the close date. So some people may want to know, well, how many opportunities have we created since the beginning of the year, rather than how many have we closed? So you would decide which date you want to go by here, okay? And then you have your other dates here too. But that would decide, and then you choose year to date, which will then start with January 1, 2021 and go all the way through December. Now, if you wanted to do this quarter, then you could change it to this one quarter. So these time filters are really nice in the filters in your lists of your modules and in your reports. And so you set that. And then your legend here is, do you want a legend or not? In a bar chart, you do not need a legend. In a pie chart, you do. Tool tips are when you point to the column, it puts the value, but it's already at the top. So you could possibly turn that off. Appearance is colors. What color scheme do you want? Okay. Drill down lets you drill down to a report that may show the same data. Okay. So if you created a report with the same time filter of year to date grouped by owner, then you could connect it to that report. Okay. Which is kind of cool. And then your data filter lets you do some sort of data filter, like maybe you want to restrict it by the industry type or something like that. You could do that, and then your time filter. So you just basically work through your tabs here to create your dashboard, and then save it, and you have your dashboard there. All right. Then the last way to report is Excel reports. Now we have some built-in reports, but there's not really anything here for opportunities. I have this one that I created somewhere along the line. And Excel reports, when you step into them, are kind of a different animal. There's a learning curve with them, but if you're a good Excel person, you can take off once you learn how to do them. So basically, your Excel report is pulling data in from your module. So you decide what data you want to pull in, okay? And then you can create formulas, like I did create a formula here for this weighted amount, which is the probability times the amount to get the weighted amount. And then you also can create, and you could pull that in over here, is you can create different pivot charts and pivot tables to show you, and this is opportunities this 3 months, which would be March, April, May. And you can pull in and make charts and stuff. So there's way cool stuff you can do with Excel reports. If you are interested in getting started with Excel reports, I did 2 webinars last October of 2020 that you can go and watch, and they get you started. All right, so that's opportunities. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Hopefully this answered some questions you may have had, clarified some things. I think, like I said, the main thing is these filters here, paying attention to these when you're looking at your lists, or if you create board views, okay? There is an actions menu here for doing different things like emailing. You can email from here, do an email blast. You can do some editing and things like that. So that's all available. And when you go to an account, for example, let me see here. Now here's something I can do. I want to view the accounts for these 2 records. And the reason I want to do that is when I go to the account record and I open it, your opportunities are in the account record. So all opportunities that you have for a particular account will be listed in the account, and you can create a new one from here. This is another method where you could click on the tab, click the plus sign, and open a new opportunity, fill it in, save and close it, and you've got it. So ClaritySoft is super flexible in where you start and how you do things, and you just need to kind of figure out what is your best method that you like, how you like doing it, and then go from there. All right, I've gone past my time yet again. So let me get to the end here. First of all, thank you for attending. We had a nice sized group again today. We've been getting some good sized groups. If you need help, you can call our support team at 888-838-7487, extension 2, or email them at support@claritysoft.com. Or if you are in the quick start process, then you can talk to Linda, Lori, or myself. And then topic requests for the future, please let us know. We're always looking for new ideas, trying to come up with new ideas. And you can email those to info@claritysoft.com. Thank you for attending and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.